Hello, hello, hello. And welcome back to That Quirky Bird Girl. I am your host, Steph, and today I am accompanied by Brandon, who is a lover of Angry Birds, as you can tell by his lovely attire. I'm going to hand it over to Brandon to share a little bit more about himself.
Thank you so much, Steph, for not only setting up this whole podcast and inviting me out here, but yeah, I am a passionate Angry Birds fan. I've been an Angry Birds fan since 2011, and I've actually been making YouTube videos on Angry Birds since late 2016. And I've also been an official content creator and brand ambassador for Rovio since 2021. But yeah, it's a bit out of the ordinary because I know because I know Steph is very knowledgeable in the world of birds, but not particularly Angry Birds, and that's where I'm coming in today, and going to be teaching y'all a little bit about the history of Angry Birds, and hopefully get to know me a little bit more. And well, I think you'll be in for an interesting episode today.
Yes. Oh my God. I completely agree. I'm so excited to share my following. There are so many passionate, excited, neurodivergent individuals. As someone who's autistic and ADHD, being able to like fully lean in and like attack my interest, which is birds, like it's so clarifying. What's your experience with that?
It's been one of the best experiences, honestly. Just being able to to fully express my passion and love for Angry Birds for over 14 years now. It's it's been, man. It's kind of hard to describe in a way because I've been very passionate about this since middle school, and I've been, with the highest of highs of this franchise, and the lowest of lows, and but through it all, it's been one experience that I wouldn't change for anything. Um, it's pretty cool that I'm not the only person who's because there's millions of Angry Birds fans out there who care deeply about this franchise and how it wants to succeed again. There was a time when Angry Birds was well and very much thriving, mainstream. But obviously that time has long since passed.
It can
But
always
it's
come back.
yeah, it's it's fans like us, stuck around. We obviously continue to express our love and passion, in our own creative ways, whether it be through YouTube content creation. Actually, also there have been some other creators that have actually made fan made art, fan made games. There's still a good nucleus of people that that still care about this brand. And we definitely want to see it thrive again. We continue to criticize, and give feedback to Rovio in their own ways. And the good thing about them is that they are listening. They are listening to to what we have to say. And yeah,
I have a question.
yeah. Go
What
ahead.
first got you interested in Angry Birds? You said 14 years, but put me in that day and age for you.
It's actually a rather pretty it's a pretty funny story. I was 11 years old. I unfortunately had to get an emergency appendix surgery. Fortunately, surgery went well, but while I was in recovery, I just so happened to meet another kid. I was in the pediatric section, and he just so happened to have Angry Birds, on his iPhone, iPad, and he let me play the game for the very first time. Back when the franchise was like first like blowing up in like 2009, 2010. Once I got to actually play the game for the first time, just everything started clicking. Just everything clicked. I understood everything, and ever since then, the rest is history. I've been following the franchise, through all the games that they've
What
the
was the time frame in between you deciding that you enjoyed or you were just learning about the game and it was like becoming popular?
so the game obviously was peaking around like 2011, 2012. But another thing that also really like sparked my interest for the franchise is also their Rovio's transmedia approach, and basically taking something and expanding it to like multiple different platforms. The TV shows they made, Angry Birds Toons, which is still a very big hit amongst the fan base. Um, 2016 was when they made the first Angry Birds movie.
Mm.
2019 they had the sequel, and now in 2027 we have a third Angry Birds movie coming out, and it'll actually be distributed by Paramount Pictures, which actually made
Whoa.
recently made the Sonic movies.
The classically redone Sonic movies, right?
No, it's CGI. It's CGI
But
Sonic movies, but
it was
they were still a very very big hit.
but it was the Sonic movie that they released the first trailer and people responded. They were like, "What the heck is this Sonic?"
Yeah, yeah,
And
and then
Paramount had to go back
they
and
had to go back and change it. Yeah,
remake the movie. But they did such a good job. They did
exactly. Yeah,
I
and
feel like that's the importance of user experience, like and infiltrating that. It sounds like Angry Birds has done that really well with fandom.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's been such a great such a great joyride, to not only get the opportunity to make videos about this franchise, it just allow me to be myself. I don't let anybody else define saying, oh, you should be doing this, should be doing that. I'm just glad to be doing what I'm doing, just posting videos about this about the franchise. And
But just being a content creator and being outwardly passionate and sharing with other people how passionate we are, because I feel like, for both of us, our passion runs so deep that we want to share it with other people and it pours in. We can't help ourselves. We're creating content every week and just like disseminating it out. And I think that the desire to share interests is I think we're really lucky to have that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've also gotten to the opportunity to interact with so many other Megabirds content creators. Man, what really I gotta admit, we got to be one of the most loyal fan bases. I'm always just blown away. I'm always so inspired by all the people that continue to whether like I said, whether it be making fan art, whether it be making their own like fan games.
Oh, that's a thing.
There was a movement back in about 2019. Birds, they ended up delisting most of their mobile games, but obviously it was for technical purposes and all that. But the evolution of mobile gaming was changing. Like it was changing a lot back then.
Oh,
But
what year was this? Just
this was about 2018 2019 when
oh, okay.
um you know that was kind of when the franchise was at a bit of a low point. There was like really no restrictions,
Oh.
so basically they've been able to just do whatever they want. And
Just be artists and be
yeah,
creative and be free. That's awesome. Why do you know why it's open? That would be open source, right?
yeah, basically open source.
Do you
You
know
know,
why?
I really I really don't know the reason. Um, but I'm not gonna fight it.
Well, you said you got to meet some cool content creators. Any experiences that stand out to you?
Well, I got to meet. There's a few of them in particular that I have close ties to. First one is Tiffany Fisher, artist. She's also autistic. But she's a very very passionate artist, and she continues to improve throughout the years. I've actually gotten to meet her a couple times in person. She's such a sweetheart, and um, she's she's very very her passion is just undeniable. It's just literally through the roof with how much she loves this franchise, how much she wants this to succeed. Another fellow creator that I've gotten really close to is and he actually has his own dedicated series, and it's still ongoing to today. You could find him on YouTube. Gerard the Redbird. We've known each other for almost about a decade, but he has his own series called the Angry Birds Fantastic Adventures, and he expands on the lore of the characters. He expands on their personalities. He has also introduced a bunch of new characters in his on his own side, and incorporating other characters that Rovio has incorporated in the past, but not really as much anymore.
I'm curious, talking a little bit about the Angry Birds characters. Could you tell us your like top, if you don't have a favorite, if you could tell us your top three?
everybody has their own specific bird that they like. The thing is with me is that I don't particularly have a favorite. It's been a revolving door basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'm sure like characters in your relationship to characters changes.
yeah, but if I had to pick a top three, I would have to obviously go with Red over here. He's at that statue behind Steph. Red is he's basically the leader of the flock. Red is a true leader of the flock. He doesn't like it when the pig steal his eggs, and is just he always likes to keep everybody together because Ingers is a family in their own weird way. But I'm also really big into Terrence. Terrence is actually the big brother bird of Red, and he's kind of like a watch guard, and he always keeps an eye on the eggs and everything. But he's also very quiet, and he doesn't really talk much.
No?
He's mostly known for like on like
Oh, he's like
yeah.
the Eeyore of Angry Birds.
No, he's not.
No?
No, he's not. He's not depressed like 90% of the time. So, but
He just grunts.
yeah,
That's just his gimmick.
yeah, that basically is his gimmick. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay,
But another bird I think I definitely most closely relate with is Bomb right here. He's very very chill. He's one of the most down to earth birds you'll probably ever come across. But obviously he does have some caveats. Don't want to get on his angry side because because he will literally explode on impact. He's known for losing his temper. That's why he has so you can see by the fuse that he has on the top of his on the top of his head. Yeah. So
that is so cool for functionality as well.
yeah, every angry bird has their own has their own unique ability because Red just likes to power. He powers past the pigs. Chuck is known for his speed, zaniness, also silliness in a way.
So pigs are what they're trying to avoid, right?
No, pigs are their enemies, and that's what they're trying to prevent the eggs from being stolen. Because the eggs are basically are their young children being hatched. So
Okay. This bird, what's its name again?
this one, BOMB, bomb.
Bomb. Oh, they named.
Yeah.
I love the like graphic of like the literal visual of exploding. His name is Bomb. He looks like a macaroni penguin.
I can definitely see that resemblance. I actually want to pose this question to you: like,
Yeah.
who would you actually compare Red to, and who would you actually compare Chuck as well to?
Ooh, love this question. Okay, so we said macaroni penguin for bomb. I would say, yellow is not necessarily the color of the beak of the northern cardinal, but I would say if we're going North American birds, northern cardinal is what's their name?
See, this is where my lack of bird knowledge comes in because this is the only related stuff I know. It's just Angry Birds.
Well, no. What's the Angry Birds character's name?
Character's name is Red.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Ryan. Okay, so Ryan looks like a northern cardinal to me.
And who would you compare Chuck to?
But that would be a male.
Yeah.
Ryan. Okay. And then Chuck. Honestly, I looked at Chuck earlier and I was like, that's a banana. But I know it's not.
It's crazy. There was this whole like meme going around like about when the first movie came out, and the people were literally like posting memes of Chuck as a banana, which is
Oh my god.
yeah, that was the whole thing. But
I so
yeah,
true to the people.
yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, so what would I see him as? There are yellow birds in North America. He really just looks like a young yellow duck to me. Like, have you ever seen, or not a duck, a goose? Have you ever seen like a Canada goose young?
I think I've seen those actually when I went to Canada back in I think it was 2016. Yeah, that was about almost 10 years ago when I went to Canada. But we really didn't go into the outskirts of Canada. We mostly stayed in Montreal, like Quebec City. So, but I could see the resemblance. Yeah.
Yeah, they're just these like really, really tiny, and I'll overlay a photo, but they're really tiny, like yellow goosefling, and they just like waddle around. But they're
Yeah.
cute. What would you compare them to if not birds? Like what energy do they give off?
Red has leadership. Chuck's zany, but he's also likes to a bit of an extrovert in a way. Like he always likes to be the first in everything. Bomb's pretty chill. He's humble, but you don't want to take him off. But
Do you have a description or like an idea of the general vibe of like each bird?
they're all one big family. They all care for each other. They all have their differences at times, but through it all, they stick together. When they're all united as one, they're unstoppable against the pigs. Whether it be Chef Pig, King Pig.
Wow, that's awesome. Are they called birds or is there a special name?
Yeah, they're all birds. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How often are all of the birds in this same gameplay?
See, a few of them are excluded. A few of them are excluded from other games, but in the YouTube animated series that I mentioned earlier with Witcher Art, they're all together, but they're all introduced in their own special way because he has the Angry Birds, and then he has another subsection called the Hungry Birds, and they are actually the enemies of the Angry Birds, and it's mainly like a power kind of game. So, but the story is very fast. It's very fascinating. I highly recommend you check it out on YouTube and when you get the chance to.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll take a look. That sounds really interesting. What hooked you?
What officially like hooked me onto the franchise like fully?
No, more so just on, I guess, on the birds or individual birds.
I guess relatability is definitely a factor in that because Red obviously he has his temper problems. I tend to lose my temper in the sports mostly. I'm a New York Mets fan and we're not doing good right now. Coming off of a doubleheader loss to the Orioles. Which
Oh no.
yeah, the season's still going. Postseason's on until October. So
Oh my
um
gosh.
I also, but yeah, I relate to Red, for the temper problem. I relate to Bomb also in a way because I'm chill with everybody. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter who you are, what you are. It doesn't. I'm down with everybody.
Seems like you have a very like open personality, and even from when I met you, I feel like we just kind of like connected and just talked about all of our like bird adjacent lore. And I don't know, like again, just coming back to the point I was making earlier, like it's exciting to be in the company of people who fully embrace their interests and their passions and what fuels them to show up. So much for watching part one of the interview all about Angry Birds. This was so much fun to create with Brandon. I'll be uploading part two over the next few weeks for more on Angry Birds and Rovio. Check out his channel. Stay tuned. Love you all. Bye.